Today we're going to talk about empathy, to help children accept and process their feelings so as to see the world from another's perspective. Remembering that our job encompasses teaching social emotional skills as part of the curriculum, we will recognize all behavior, good, bad, and indifferent, as opportunities to develop each child's ability to cope and engage in the world. Think of it this way: I must see each moment as it is. It is our tendency to fight against what is happening by saying things like, "This should never have happened. They know better." "What should you be doing?" "I can't believe you're acting this way." "This is not the way we treat others at school." These types of thoughts and comments argue that things are not as they should be, setting our brains up to resist, which is the prerequisite to attack. Remember, the way we handle our own upset is teaching others how they too should handle their upset. Many times, our response to the fit of a child is to throw our own adult-like tantrum. Becky Bailey recognizes 3 types of adult fits. 1, mild, complaining and whining. 2, moderate, criticism, name-calling and judging. And 3, severe, physically hurting others. Disappointment is tough. We all need to learn how to handle frustration. We have ample opportunities to do this ourselves, and to teach children to cope with upset, you will need the skill called empathy. Dr. Bailey goes on to state, "Teachers often ask me, how can I get the children to happily do what I want when I want it?" I surely do not have the answer, she says. However, she continues, "I do know of some helpful approaches. When you resist what is, you become so enmeshed in your own perspective that no other perspective seems to matter. Let go of your expectation that children can give up what they want in order to follow your wishes and still be happy about it. Stop trying to control children's feelings in hopes that this will control their behavior. Feelings serve as our core system for discerning right from wrong. Feelings are our moral navigators. We need to become acutely aware of them and then learn how to express them more appropriately. Consider this: an event that happens does not create or cause feelings. One perception of that event becomes the trigger to their emotions, both positive and negative. Think about a 2-year-old quickly snatching a doll out of the hands of a classmate that just picked the doll up to play with it. What motivated this immediate and seemingly angry response? And what was the perception of the offender? Possibly that though she wasn't planning to play with the doll at that moment, her perception dictated she needed the doll to be available to her when she did want to play with it. She was triggered by what she anticipated rather than what actually was. Using empathy challenges us to see things from the perception of others. Rather than focusing on what they should know to do, which indicates they are not doing what I told them, so now I'm going to change them, take a moment to see that a child is simply resisting the moment as it is. Empower yourself with empathy to reframe your approach to the child's challenge. Empathy is understanding what another person feels and having insight into their thoughts and actions. When you empathize with children, they realize that you care about their ideas and feelings. So, when a child snatches a doll from another, we show them empathy by acknowledging their feelings and by noticing their actions. For example, "I noticed you wanted the doll, but Kelly was playing with the doll. You may not snatch the doll from someone else. You can ask if you can play with the doll when they are done, or look, here's another doll that you can play with even now." Notice this approach resists the temptation to view others as victims. When we focus on how taking the doll made Kelly feel, or how the snatching child would feel if the doll was taken from them, we miss an opportunity to teach from the perception of the offending child. To understand the emotions of another person, you must first accept and acknowledge your own. This is a challenge because most of us have been programmed to deny our feelings. Many of our own parents taught us that if our feelings were hurt or we didn't like something, we were to ignore our emotions or just get over it. It is impossible for us to teach children skills we have not mastered ourselves. Therefore, we must learn to feel our feelings and to express them in acceptable ways. To empathize with the children, You must first offer yourself empathy and compassion. You must accept your feelings instead of telling yourself, I shouldn't feel like this. So out loud, tell yourself, I feel frustrated, and it's okay. If you don't verbalize your feelings, you will act them out like children. Stop yourself and refocus onto your own feelings. Of all the world's languages, the most difficult one is the language of feelings. Your intent is critical to the use of empathy. If you intend to make children stop acting or feeling a certain way, you will try to use empathy to manipulate. Empathy is bigger than obedience. It is wiring a brain that can process disappointment, frustration, and anger without acting out these emotions in a hurtful manner. During our December 2nd training, we will look at 3 specific skills designed to help us connect with children and others that use and develop empathy. I look forward to seeing you then.